Have you ever stopped to think what truly determines whether someone will reach their 90s with independence or spend their final years trapped in a chair, relying on others even to go to the bathroom? Have you wondered why some people keep their legs strong, climb stairs on their own, walk down the street with confidence and their heads held high, while others, the same age, fall constantly, break their hips, and lose all will to live? The difference between those two destinies may lie in something nobody ever taught you to watch for: the vitamins that sustain your mobility. What if I told you that the strength in your legs isn't just a matter of exercise or genetics, but rather a hidden sign of your future health? That there's a set of essential vitamins and minerals overlooked by most that act like direct fuel for your muscles, bones, joints, and nervous system. And more, that the silent lack of these nutrients may be the real cause of your fatigue, your frequent stumbles, your unexplained aches, your loss of balance, and even your anxiety. This isn't an exaggeration. It's science, and it's urgent. I'm a geriatrician, and over years in my clinic I've witnessed hundreds of stories. People who lost their independence for lack of information, and others who rebuilt their physical strength and hope for life simply by correcting nutritional deficiencies that had never been detected. That's why today, in this video, I'm going to show you the 6 most important vitamins to keep your legs strong, even past age 94, plus one mineral that works like a true engine for your musculature. But before we continue, I want to give you a straightforward invitation. Subscribe to the channel right now. That way, you'll keep getting valuable content like this, content that can prevent falls, hospital stays, fractures, and even save lives. Here you'll find clear guidance on longevity, disease prevention, healthy habits, emotional well-being, and senior health, always in simple, direct language, grounded in real-world experience alongside older adults. Throughout this video, you'll learn the hidden role of vitamin D as your bone protector, the surprising impact of vitamin B12 on your balance and energy, the regenerative power of vitamin C, the antioxidant action of vitamin E, the silent secret of vitamin K2 in your bone structure, and the vital importance of magnesium as the regulator of your movements and muscle strength. We'll also explain how these nutrients connect like the gears of a Swiss watch, and why imbalances among them can start a process of premature aging. If you're over 60, or you love someone who is, don't ignore what you're about to hear. The knowledge you're about to receive could be the dividing line between an active, independent life and a future filled with limitations. Watch closely, take notes if you need to, and by the end, you'll have a clear, practical plan to age with health, strength, and dignity. Because yes, it's possible, and it starts now. Very few people realize that leg strength is a true oracle of longevity. It's as if the body itself is trying to tell us how many healthy years lie ahead. When your legs are firm, secure, and agile, you're not just standing. You're preserving your independence. That's why so many studies, like those published in the Journal of Gerontology, point to lower body muscle strength as one of the most reliable risk factors for falls and hospitalizations in older adults. What seems simple is actually one of the greatest pillars of healthy aging. What many see as a natural loss of strength with age, I interpret as an alarm. The struggle to get up from the couch, the stumble on the sidewalk, that shuffling step around the house, these are all warning signs. It's time to act. Falls in older adults aren't mere accidents. They're milestones on the curve of senior health, often leading to serious fractures, lengthy hospital stays, and worst of all, loss of independence. And if there's one thing we must protect at all costs, it's that independence. Keeping your legs strong is like keeping a car's engine running smoothly for longer. And we're not talking marathons or outrageous workouts. Short walks 3 times a week, taking the stairs whenever possible, even standing more during daily activities. All of this builds muscle, boosts circulation, and guards against sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass with age. And that, my friend, is disease prevention made simple. When we can walk with confidence, we gain more than physical balance. We gain well-being, freedom, and dignity. I've heard countless patients tell me that once they regained safe walking, they felt young again. It makes sense. The body talks to the mind, legs that move, thoughts that flow. Now that you've grasped the crucial importance of leg strength for your health, you might be ready to uncover the role of a vitamin that's activated by sunlight and holds a powerful secret to keeping your bone structure unshakable. There is a light that doesn't switch on at the ceiling, but inside every cell of your body. It's called vitamin D, and it's the guardian of your bones, your muscles, and the entire framework that supports you, your legs. Without it, calcium can't be absorbed properly, and without calcium, your bones become as fragile as wet glass. The problem: over 70% of older adults are deficient in this vitamin, silent, invisible, and devastating. That's why disease prevention begins with some sunshine and a simple blood test. Science has proven it. 15 minutes of direct sun on your arms and legs 3 times a week triggers natural vitamin D production that no pill can match. And if you think an open window or artificial light is enough, you're mistaken. It's direct sunlight that creates the magic. Here's a key fact. Studies from Boston University show that seniors with adequate vitamin D levels have 30% fewer falls. That's physical resilience in action, and free. If your schedule won't allow that sunshine bath, or your absorption is already compromised, we turn to food and supplements. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and tuna are excellent sources. Egg yolks and liver help too, but beware. As we age, our liver and kidneys may activate vitamin D more slowly. That's when medical guidance is crucial to adjust supplement dosages safely. After all, longevity without control becomes a risk. By the way, quick check. Are you enjoying this content so far? If this conversation has made sense and shown you pathways to healthy aging, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Every video here is like an informal consultation with revelations that can transform your health. Next, we'll dive into a vitamin that governs not just your body's energy, but also the precision of your movements and the sharpness of your senses. If vitamin D is the skeleton's light, vitamin B12 is the power cable that fuels your body. This nutrient acts like an electrician inside you, connecting and regulating the communication between brain, muscles, and nerves. Without it, the body slips into a silent collapse, tingling, balance loss, constant fatigue, even mental fog. What's worse, B12 deficiency is extremely common in older adults, especially after 60, due to decreased stomach acidity that hinders absorption. I often see patients who complain of forgetfulness, random stumbles, or heavy-legged sensations, and they chalk it up to getting old. In reality, it may just be a B12 deficit. This vitamin, vital to the nervous system, helps form red blood cells, and without enough of it, muscle and brain oxygenation suffer. The result? Lower strength, poorer focus, and slower reflexes, compromising your resilience and safety while walking. Meat, eggs, dairy, and their byproducts are rich B12 sources, but eating well isn't always enough. If your stomach's acid production has dropped, or you've been on acid-blocking meds like omeprazole long-term, absorption can fail. In these cases, the answer is professional advice and possibly sublingual or injectable supplements. It's not how much you take in, but how much your body uses, I always tell patients. A simple correction can restore vitality, steady your gait, and even lift your mood. I've seen seniors regain leg strength in just weeks after balancing their B12 levels. That's the foundation for a long, active life with more independence and fewer hospital visits. But don't rush. Always investigate before supplementing. While you consider that, let me tell you about another vitamin that works at the very basis of your muscle elasticity and tissue repair. Few people realize that vitamin C does far more than boost immunity. It's one of the most powerful allies of senior health, directly driving collagen production, the protein that supports muscles, tendons, and joints, and shielding them from oxidative wear and tear. This water-soluble vitamin isn't stored in large amounts, so deficiency shows up as slow-healing bruises, purple spots without cause, and a constant feeling of leg weakness. Picture yourself navigating uneven ground without flexible joints or elastic muscles. The risk of sprains and falls skyrockets. That's where disease prevention gets smart. Vitamin C not only repairs damaged tissue, but also strengthens the blood vessels feeding your leg muscles, boosting circulation and recovery. It's an invisible shield that makes each step more secure. Keeping optimal vitamin C levels isn't about feasting, it's about daily habit. Fruits like acerola, orange, kiwi, and guava are pure longevity gold. One glass of acerola juice can pack 10 times the C of an orange. But remember, because it's water-soluble, you need it every day, and the fresher the fruit, the stronger its muscle repair power. I've had patients who, after upping their intake of vitamin C-rich fruits, noticed fewer leg pains, faster healing, and a renewed zest for walking. That's practical quality of life. But we're not stopping here. There's another, less talked about vitamin with a silent power to protect your muscles and vessels from aging. Vitamin E is like a silent sentinel in your body, patrolling muscles and blood vessels to fend off damage from free radicals. The internal rust that accelerates tissue wear and impairs functions crucial to your well-being and longevity. Without enough E, your leg muscles lose endurance, and the vessels supplying them stiffen, hampering circulation and recovery after everyday exertion. In older adults, E deficiency shows up as disproportionate fatigue, balance struggles, and even odd leg heaviness. Patients often say, "Doctor, it feels like I'm carrying sandbags on my calves." That's a sign of unprotected musculature. Senior health demands we notice these nuances. When dosed correctly, vitamin E can bring back lightness to each step and flexibility to joints. Natural sources are plentiful. Sunflower seeds, Brazil nuts, almonds, spinach, avocado, they're tasty weapons against premature muscle aging. A daily handful or a green salad dressed with olive oil is usually enough, but be cautious. High-dose supplements can raise bleeding risk in people on blood thinners or with vascular issues. Despite being rarely mentioned in routine checkups, vitamin E is a linchpin of healthy aging. The difference between heavy legs and confident steps might hinge on your snack choices. It's like oil in your body's machinery, keeping everything running smoothly. But the journey doesn't end here. There's a little-known vitamin that acts as a biological cement, locking calcium into your bones and keeping it from straying. Imagine a mason who, instead of applying mortar to a wall, pours it into the house's plumbing. Sounds absurd, right? Yet that's exactly what happens in your body when you lack vitamin K2, calcium, rather than strengthening bones, deposits in arteries, raising risk factors for cardiovascular problems. Here lies the secret few know. Without K2, calcium goes astray. With it, calcium is guided precisely where it belongs, your bones. Your longevity depends on sturdy structures, and fragile bones are like corroded pillars in an old house. Osteoporosis, especially in women over 60, can creep up painlessly until one day a simple fall leads to a hip fracture, changing a senior's life forever. K2 is one of the rare vitamins capable of preventing this silent tragedy, activating proteins that bind calcium to bones and keep it out of your arteries. A process science has only begun to unravel in recent decades. Modern diets are poor in K2. Rich sauces, aged cheeses, free-range liver, natto, a Japanese fermented dish, and other fermented foods aren't staples in most supermarkets, but it's closer than you think. Alternating pasture-raised eggs with aged cheese at breakfast can boost your natural intake. I've advised patients to add small portions of these foods, and in months, their bone health markers improve dramatically. It's essential to distinguish K2 from K1, found in green vegetables mainly for clotting. That difference is crucial, yet often overlooked. For healthy aging, you need to know details most have never heard. Now that you understand how to keep your bones rock solid, you're ready to meet the silent mineral that makes your muscles run like a well-tuned clock. Hardly anyone imagines that a simple mineral can influence your gait quality, leg strength, and even your mood. Magnesium is the invisible engine moving your muscles, involved in over 300 bodily reactions, from muscle contraction to heart rhythm, and its deficiency is widespread precisely where it's most needed, in senior health. Night cramps, tremors, constant fatigue, and wobbly balance may actually be your body's plea for magnesium. When magnesium runs low, your body stalls like a car choking uphill. Muscle contraction becomes erratic, the relaxation between steps falters, and reflexes slow. I've seen seniors struggle with stairs who, after balancing magnesium levels, walked with far more confidence. Plus, magnesium is essential for activating vitamin D, a perfect example of how disease prevention works in chains. Natural magnesium sources are easy to find. Avocado, spinach, nuts, pumpkin seeds, dark chocolate, they're all precious allies. But aging diminishes your gut's ability to absorb it. Sometimes, even a balanced diet isn't enough, and you'll need guided supplementation. Dosage must be set by a healthcare professional, especially if you have kidney issues. It's remarkable how a silent nutrient can be so decisive for the body's resilience. With balanced magnesium, your body moves in sync, muscles work in harmony, and the risk of falls drops drastically. But it only works when everything's in balance. That's why it's time to see how all these vitamins and minerals mesh like gears in a great clock, and why harmony among them is essential for durable, healthy aging. In the human body, nothing works in isolation. Vitamins, minerals, hormones, and enzymes form an invisible orchestra, each instrument needing to play just right. Vitamin D, for example, only activates if magnesium is present. And if calcium isn't shepherded by vitamin K2, it can end up clogging your arteries instead of strengthening your bones. These interactions explain why supplementing a single nutrient without care often does more harm than good. The secret to longevity lies in balance, not excess. Over the years, I've seen patients arrive taking a bunch of supplements yet still suffer pain, fatigue, and unsteady steps. Dig deeper, and you find nutrients competing, absorption blocked, and silent side effects. That's why every prevention plan must be personalized, based on up-to-date labs and professional guidance. There's no magic formula, only equilibrium. Time is also crucial. The body doesn't respond overnight. Correcting deficiencies takes weeks or months to show visible results. So seniors and their families must have resilience and patience. A balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, quality proteins, and healthy fats is the best starting point. Supplements step in only when diet alone falls short, and even then, with caution, analysis, and prudence. When all these gears mesh, the outcome is powerful. More energy, strong muscles, resilient bones, sharp mind, and confident strides. That's how you build a long life filled with independence, presence, and joy. Now that you know the backstage of this true symphony of senior health, you're ready to treat your body as the living temple it is. Because living longer is good, but living well is even better. Now that you've made it this far, answer me honestly. How many of those vitamins were actually part of your daily routine? How many times did your legs fail you? You chalked it up to just getting older, and never guessed that a silent imbalance was robbing you of strength, balance, and maybe even dignity. The truth is, aging doesn't have to mean weakness. Science has proven, and I see it every day in my clinic, that you can grow older with vitality, firmness, and autonomy. Today you accessed information that many still ignore, but that could be the key to preventing falls, fractures, and years of unnecessary dependence. Now is the time to act and refuse to accept fatigue as your fate. Leave a comment below. Which of these vitamins do you feel you're missing? Have you noticed signs of weakness, cramps, or wobbly balance? Share your story. It may inspire and help others walking the same path. And if this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and drop a like. That way, I'll know you want to keep learning and investing in your future with awareness and wisdom. Life after 60 doesn't have to be a passive wait. It can be an active journey, full of discoveries, adjustments, and rebirths. Your longevity depends on the decisions you start making today, with knowledge, attention, and self-love. Care for your body as you would a temple, because living longer is a gift, but living well is your choice.